Hey, brother sewing and crafting family. How's it going? Well, I tried to clean up just a little part of my studio, and I figure if I sit over this way, you can't see the mess I've been making today. She's a pretty hot mess, but I got a lot going on in here. So how was your day? If you've never been here before, say hi, say where you're from. Let us know if you're from another country. There's a great emoji for that flag. And today, Laura is here. I'm so excited. So she has the coolest things, and I already saw a ton of your comments that said you love the photo that she put up there. I do too, and I can hardly wait to make this top. So I see you all rolling in. You can see me, hear me. Jan, great to see you. Jan, thank you for the tip on getting those darn pop-ups to stop. Brilliant. All right, so let's grab Laura, see what she's up to. Maybe. Hey, Laura.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Nice to see you.
I know. I'm so happy to be back.
I love your top.
Oh, thank you.
Did you dye it yourself?
What? I didn't. No, I didn't do this one.
You could have, though.
But yeah, you know how it goes. It's weird. Like I'll make stuff like this, but I'll also buy stuff that I make. Do you do that too?
I do. And I love hand dyeing fabrics. We've just been talking about that the last few days. So, and once you do it, it's absolutely addictive. So,
it's so fun. And
okay, so before we get to your refashioning, I have to tell you, it looks a little windy out your window, by the way.
Can you see? Like, I feel like it's really wide right now.
You are.
my light is right here, and it was like this white thing. I'm like, what is that?
So I saw a couple of your photos. Were you at the beach with the kids? Or you made this cute blanket. It's on blog.brothersews.com.
I was at the beach, but Lake Lanier. It's in Georgia, so it wasn't the actual beach, but we call it our Florida in Georgia, you know? Because right now we can't really, I mean, we could go, but we just haven't yet. So I know. Yeah. It's been a weird summer because we usually head to Florida probably 2 to 3 times a year by now because we live 4 hours from it, you know?
Oh, that's so nice.
But yeah, not yet. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we usually go as well, and we have not been able to. So thankfully, the weather's good in Michigan, and I've been sewing up a storm.
And you have the lake, right?
Yes. About 1 mile out my office door.
I love that lake, and you have the beach too.
We do.
Hi.
So Laura, everybody's saying hi to you. Tell us what you are going to show us what to do today, because this is so cute. This reminds me of a top that I did years ago, and instead of the beads you did, I hand beaded it, but I love this. So let me bring you up so they can see this really close.
So I'm going to show you 2 versions. Like this is my inspiration one, the first one I made. These are like macrame tubes. But I was unable to find those, so I'm just going to show you how to do them with pearl. And I have the pearl one right here too. I don't know if you can see it.
Let's see.
Move it up.
Don't worry, everyone. I always tell them, don't get seasick. Those that do, just close your eyes for a sec.
To see the neckline and stuff like that.
Okay, let me bring you up. I'm going to bring you up close. Oh, yes. Is that pearls?
Yes.
Very cool.
So I'm going to show you more how to do that one, but the technique is exactly the same.
Okay, I can't wait. And you're refashioning T-shirts though. You're not even sewing these from scratch.
Yeah, I thought we were doing our T-shirt refashioning.
What I wanted everyone to know, because there's so many people in here that have made comments that they're just getting into sewing. They are used to sewing bags. They're afraid to sew clothes. So this is the perfect project for them because you're refashioning. You just have a T-shirt already out of your stash or go buy one.
Yes.
And you can buy those so inexpensive usually.
That's how I learned to sew. I mean, a lot of it was, when I was younger, was just refashioning. You know what I mean? So I think it's a great idea. Like you said, if you're just learning, start with the refashioning, and then yes, you can eventually start constructing a garment from a yard or whatever of fabric. But initially, this is kind of how I start, and I still love doing it. It's still fun,
I can't wait to see this. All right, so where do you want to get started?
Okay, so let's go. I'm gonna move over to the sewing table, and so
okay.
I'll there.
Okay, see you there. This is so cool. So if some of you watched after you see this, maybe next week on the live show, I'll bring in one that I did similar to this, but I got to see how she does this because I've never done the refashioning. I sewed from scratch and it was such a pain because I was trying to match everything up. So I cannot wait to see this. So be sure to leave your comments, questions. We will be sure to answer them at the end or when there's breaks. So let me bring Laura. Here you go. There you go. Let me make sure I can hear you. Hold on. There we go. Can I hear you now?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, let me I'm going to swap your mics. Okay, try that. Oh, nope. It's an echo. I got you back. I took you back to the first mic, so just talk a little louder.
Okay, I can move my computer too. Should I do that?
Oh, no, you're fine. We can hear. Just turn up if you guys can't hear, just turn up your volume a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, so you'll start with a shirt, a basic t-shirt. And what I do is I get, any type of marking tool. And then you're going to just mark a 1/2 inch. I just do dashes around the edge of your neckline. And you don't have to do this, but I just do this to keep it nice and even. It doesn't have to be exact. You're going to be folding this over anyways. And then on the back, do the same thing. And obviously remove the tag. And then when you do the back, what you'll want to do is you'll want to make sure that you're 1/2 inch starting from the stitches right here. If they have that back stabilizer, I don't know what they call that, but. And then repeat.
So for those of you that don't know, she's using a fabric marking pen, and some are different. Some are air erasable where they disappear in 24 hours, and some are water, but she's going to cut it anyway. So it really doesn't matter. Technically, you could probably just use a Sharpie.
Yeah, for sure. Just as long as you're going to fold it over anyway. And so now you're going to cut, but when you do the back, just leave about 1 inch. I'll show you. But all I do is I like to just start at this seam right here. And you just knit, and then you cut the mark all the way around.
Joanne said she loves this. It's going to give her ideas for what to get ready for her anniversary, which is awesome. Ooh. Happy anniversary, Joanne.
Yeah, happy anniversary. We just had ours too.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Thank you. And then get to the back.
Sheila from Africa just got an overlocker and a Brother computerized sewing machine for her birthday. Happy birthday, Sheila. Yeah, birthdays, anniversaries.
Yeah, my birthday was the 24th, so last Friday.
Oh my gosh, I missed your birthday. Happy birthday, Laura.
Okay, thank you. And we had a fun day. We went boating. Angela, my son caught the biggest fish, and I need to show you a photo because you and Wynn will be so proud. We
will be proud.
I was thinking, I need to send this to Angela. I don't know why I haven't. All right, so really quick, when you get to the back, you don't have to do this, but I do because I don't want to keep this around the collar line. So this just keeps it intact, and you'll cut this later. But I just keep like a little inch left, see? And so that way I'm not just kind of trying to figure out where the center front was or the center back,
That's a great tip.
Yeah, because at first, when I first did one of these, I cut it. And then I was like, what? And then you're just kind of trying to make sure. So that just helps keep it staying in place. Now the next step, what you're going to do is you're going to press, and I'm not going to show you this, but you're going to press these over. And so all the way around. Now this color is a little bit different, but because it's softer and a little bit shorter, but my next one won't be like that. And so you'll just press this over, and then you're going to also press this part over too. So there's 2 necklines. So then just press this over as well. And press it over about 1/4 inch on this one, and then this one, whatever, as long as the rib, collar line right here is showing still.
Yeah. So, and then And then also, for those that can't see it really close, if you flip it over and it's sticking out of your collar, just cut it a little shorter.
Yeah, for sure. All right, now we're going to go to the sewing machine. I'm going to pretend I already pressed this, but I'll show you at the sewing machine. So I'll meet you guys over there.
Okay.
Hi.
Here we go. Wrong button. Hey, by the way, while you're moving, Connie, happy birthday from last week.
Oh,
Lots of birthdays this week. How fun.
Leo.
Yes. Okay. So I know before you get started, everybody's going to ask that hasn't seen you before, what sewing machine are you using?
I am using the Brother SE 1900.
The Brother SE 1900.
Yep.
And I'm putting it in the comments for all of you that pop in and say, what machine is that? There you go.
This is an all-arounder. I just feel like it can kind of do it all. All right, so you have now this kind of, and I press this over these sides, and so you have this collar, and then so it's like two separate necklines. It's kind of confusing. So now all you're gonna do is sew over these edges. So I'll bring the computer closer so you guys can see. So I'm just finishing the cut edges that I just did. So let me move this. It's kind of loud. Excuse me.
As she's moving it, by the way, you could still see her other T-shirt up there. And she's doing this on a sewing machine. And if you look closely on the screen, you can see those little beads that she has on there. But you could also do this with a cover stitch for those of you that have the cover stitch or the double cover stitch. So keep that in mind. So
yeah, you're right. I that would be a good one. It would look really professional. Can you see? Because it's kind of, is that good lighting? Okay, because I do have a light. I put it behind me. I didn't tell you this, but the last time we did it was the first live we ever did. This is hilarious. And I had the light on my face. And I literally burned my eyes because I was just sitting there because I didn't realize we're supposed to put this.
Oh, no.
Well, they were sore, and I was like, why does it feel like my eyes got sunburned? I don't know why these things burn you.
Okay, well, keep it away from your eyes. You need those for your sewing.
I'm terrified of it now. So yeah, so you can remove this as well. It might be easier to sew it. And now,
yes, for those that did not know that can come off of your machine, which makes it so nice. The tray is removable.
Yep, and you can easy to go sleeves, collars, all that kind of stuff. So now I'm just finishing the edges. I am going to do this collar first. I did some of it, but I just did some stuff out so you guys. Oh, and then another thing I'm doing is I like to sew this way, even though usually you do a top stitch, because I want to make sure I'm seeing the, the excess fabric. You can sew it this way as well. So
are you just using the straight stitch?
Yeah, I am with the 3.0.
Okay.
What would you suggest?
Yeah. Or I was going to give some other ideas for them. If they have a triple stitch, you can use a triple stitch because that's a stretch stitch. But that T-shirt doesn't look like it's super tight around your neck. But if you need your neckband to stretch out, you'll want to use a triple stitch or a twin needle maybe, because that way that can stretch when it goes over your head. But yeah, but yours looked amazing. So I think I'm reading the comments, and as you're sewing, there's a lot of SE 1900 owners and fans in the audience today.
That's cool. I got this one years ago, or when it first came out, so it might have been a couple of years ago. So now I'm doing that bottom part too. So you just fold that over, and then I'm just finishing these edges. Yeah, I got this when it first came out. I never changed it. It's been here. It's been sturdy. It's held up, and I love it.
I love it because it's just so quiet. And I'm just going to answer a couple questions while you're doing this. Yes, Tammy, you could do a built-in decorative stitch. And actually, they have a couple decorative stitches that are great for stretch. I used a couple the other day. So play around with those. Just make sure that it can stretch and go, and it doesn't stretch your fabric out while you're stitching. That's really important. And someone else said, what about the twin stretch needle? Oh yeah, Amy, that would work too. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and you're right, Angela. This for some, this t-shirt I'm using doesn't have a problem with that. But yeah, if you need additional stretch, yeah, you'll want to either, like you said, use a triple, a double needle, or a zigzag stitch. And I don't do this last part till the very end. That I don't take that off till the very end.
So I saw someone ask what needle to use. It really depends. You know, you could use a stretch needle, a number 11 or 12 would probably work. You could also use just a universal needle, which is fine. But if you have a really stretchy t-shirt, then you'll need to use a stretch needle. So.
Yeah, and you know, I think I said this last time, but I always use a jeans needle. Like, I don't know, they always work so well. So I don't have to change it that often either. Okay, so now
I'm gonna bring you by your solo. Oh, it looks great.
Right, that's how it will look. So there's the first section, and then you have the second section right here, so both of them are finished. See if I can get a, and
that looks great.
We still have this, right? There's like maybe an inch left. And again, I just do that at the very end, after I've hand stitched the pearls all the way around. So now, sorry. So now we are ready to hand stitch the pearls on. So let's go over to the cutting table.
All right. So as she goes to the cutting table, in case you guys missed the show yesterday, I saw somebody ask about the top behind me. I showed how to pin on that ruffle on there. You could do that to a refashion t-shirt too, but so I just saw that question pop up. All right, Laura, I'm going to bring you up. Let me just, here we go. I just want to make sure I can hear you. Can you hear me okay, Laura?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, just talk a little loud.
Okay. Like scream like I have been the last 6 months. I'm surprised I haven't lost my voice. Okay. So what I also do, if there's like additional just seam allowance, I'll trim that down, because we aren't really finishing anymore. Like, we didn't serge it or anything. So yeah, like Angela said, the cover stitch machine, if you have that, would be ideal. I'm just gonna trim this down a little bit, and because I won't finish this, so you could just kind of cut that down. Be careful that you don't cut through.
And that's exactly what we were talking about at the beginning. If you had cut it too far and it's sticking out the front, she's just trimming it off. And the best part of t-shirts is I'm going to say most, because there's always an exception, but most of the time t-shirt fabric won't fray, so you don't have to really worry about that.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, see, I did trim it down. Okay, so now the fun part, and I'm not going to show you the whole entire neckline, because I'm not going to lie, I'm not a professional hand sewer, because I love my sewing machine. So if I could figure out how to sew these on with the sewing machine, I would.
I agree. I love hand stitching though too. By the way, I see a couple of your comments about you know who, and no worries, got rid of it.
Right. So you can mark these out to make sure that they're even if you want. I just kind of, because I have this up here, just make sure that the shoulder seams right here meet. There's one right there, and then there's one right here, and you can just kind of go like that. And then the center front. And then what you'll do, you can mark if you want. Like, honestly, the space that you have in between each bead is up to you. You can do a ton, or you can, I like mine open a little bit, because you want it to appear as a cutout, right? If you do them super close, it's like, oh, you're wearing a pearl necklace, cool. So that's kind of what I like to do. Then you can just like mark them 1.5 inches apart if you want. And you can use, again, a marking tool, or you can just go by kind of just visual as well. And then what I'm using is, a stretchable thread. So it stretches. And
that's a good tip.
Right? Because when I first did them, sometimes it snap. So I like this for this project for sure. So that's what I'm using for my thread.
You know what, Laura? Speaking of stretchable thread, for those that like that stretchable thread, you could use that in the sewing machine too.
Yes, you can use it on the top thread, and I don't use it in the bobbin, but you can use it in the bobbin too. So yeah, so I got it on here. You can see it stretches, and that'll just help. So like, if you know, are yanking this and you're pulling it on, like they're not gonna snap, hopefully. And then I like to start. Let me flop this because I'm right-handed. So you guys get the picture. But I like to start at the collar. I don't even really know what to call these pieces. You know, it's like the collar and then the other collar, you know, and the other neckline. But and then I start from the back here. I kind of want to hide this first stitch with the knot, you know. And then you can trim the little threads down later. And then you take a pearl, and also make sure that the pearls that you buy or whatever beads that you buy can go through the needle that you have, because you know sometimes they're really thin and that makes that difficult. And then you just place it with your marking on this side. So I'm just going right barely through. You guys see pretty close.
Oh yeah, we can see great. And you know, I was going to point out when you said that about the pearls, there are special, I mean, you have hand sewing needles, but you can actually buy thinner needles for hand beading if you buy something that you can't get your needles through. So keep that in mind. I have a whole stash of them because I love hand beading, but sometimes if the pearl you can't get your sewing needle through, just look for a smaller needle or a beading needle.
Smart. And there is a lot of different sizes. I have some on hand, and I experienced that where it was like, shoot, it won't fit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I've been there.
You go through the top.
Another trip back to the store to get some more needles or different beads, whichever one.
more, it never ends, does it?
Mm-hmm.
And then I know the ladies at my local craft store, and fabric store, like just know me. Even with my mask on, they're like, "Oh, hi, how are you? What's the product today?"
Hey, Laura, are you using a single thread or double thread? Kathy wants to know. Oh, I just lost Laura for a second. Oh, let's see. I'll bring you back up. There you are.
Oh, okay. That was weird. That was my husband calling.
Oh, tell your husband hi. Usually it's Win that calls during here, so.
I didn't know that I wish it declined. Now, he's the kind of person that will just keep calling and calling until I answer the phone. So anyways, I told Angela he forgot. I don't know why, but he forgot. He was supposed to be here at 4 because he was supposed to watch my youngest, who right now is watching a movie. So he is at peace for a while.
I haven't seen any of the kids run in yet, so no worries. So while she's doing that, so did you hear
now?
Here they come. Kathy wants to know, are you using a single thread or a double thread?
Oh, so I am using a double.
Okay.
But I don't know if you could use a single. I just like the security. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you will be doing each one individually just because there's space in between, which that can kind of get annoying. But, pull up a good movie and stitch away. Like I said, if I could figure out how to do this on the sewing machine, I would. So yeah, you started up here, went through the purl, and now I like to go pull a little bit, and then I like to go through the needle again, the center again.
So you're going through twice. That's a good secure. Then, and you won't be popping beads out at dinner, right?
Oh yeah, could you imagine? And then also too, I don't like finishing on this side and then knotting that off, because then you have more little threads back there. You know what I mean? So you kind of.
Yeah, because the lower part of the shirt, there isn't much there. So if you could hide it behind the top collar, it would be much better.
Yes, exactly. So then what I do is I pull it through. Okay, and then you're gonna have to, pull it tighter at that point. And then the back, you snip the threads back here. And now this is what I was doing. is knotting these together now.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're reminding me of my wedding dress that I made, that I hand beaded. I don't know, maybe 1,000 beads onto it, and the fabric was stretchy. It had a little stretch to it, so every single last bead I had to sew on individually. So what you're doing right there is really bringing back some. I don't know if it'd be a nightmare or or it was just like, oh gosh, flashback.
And then I snipped these. I didn't. So you knot it like twice, you know what I mean? And then you just snip the additional thread. And then you have the fun, you know, obviously get rid of that. And then you have to go all the way around. You'll see it starts to get from here. And
That
then,
looks great.
yeah, you go all the way around. Now, when I get down back here in the center, when I get in the back, and it looks, like I said, it will look flimsy at first, because especially when you have just the first one, and as you add them, it starts to get more stronger and more secure. And when you get back here, I didn't knot that tight enough, but when you get back here, you just cut this, and then you fold these sides, the top hem over and the bottom hem over. Does that make sense, guys?
It does. And you know, that's such a great idea. I mean, that one tip right there would save hours of frustration to be able to leave that back piece like that, because then you know where it's going to be. That's perfect.
And because then you're just, and I'm gonna spare you guys all that time just watching me, watching me do that. And then you'll have this. And see, it's like this fun little.
That's gorgeous. We can really see that one good with look at, you guys see how great that looks? The stitching looks perfect, because some people are saying, well, is it going to stretch out? Absolutely not. I mean, if you have a really stretchy thing and your fabric stretching, use a stabilizer or something, but that looks beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. And then it did work out. I mean, like I said, at first you think it might not. You know, when you're first doing it, but the more pearls you add, and as you go all the way around, it somehow creates this fun little look. So I thought that would be fun to share, because it's quick, I mean, relatively quick, and you don't have to alter the t-shirt completely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Thank you. So
great job. Oh my gosh, and people are loving it too.
Oh, I'm glad. Honestly, whenever I share this one or I wear it, I always get compliments on it. And here's the other one, like I said, these are called macrame tubes. And
let me take this comment down. Hold on, let's see. Oh yeah, that one. That's the one that's in the photo. Oh my gosh. Oh, and then did you do beads in the back?
Yeah, I did the beads because I ran out of the tube.
Oh, perfect.
So that one was a fun one too. And this one, I've had this one for years. I wear this one a lot, and it's still like I haven't popped one of them.
Do you have any problems with it, like in the wash or anything? Do you have any problems with it?
I definitely wash gentle and just on a gentle cycle. And if you have like one of those little bags, you know, like with, you know, where you put like delicates and stuff like that, the little delicate washable bags, you could put one of that in those as well.
That's perfect. So a couple of the girls have some questions for you.
Okay, I'll come over to my sewing table.
Sounds great. Then we can hear you a little better too. I agree, Mary, that silver is so cute. And yes, an inexpensive way to dress up a t-shirt. That looks like you'd buy it in a designer shop.
Oh,
oh, yes. Okay, so I'm going to, let's see, bring both of us up here. Okay, so there was a couple questions, which were great ones, and you might know just offhand. I don't think you'll have to measure anything, but somebody wanted to know, Amy wanted to know, would that work in a sweatshirt, do you think?
Yeah, I think it would work better on a sweatshirt because it's more stable. Like, you know, it's a little bit heavier weight material, like this, for example. And you definitely don't want a super thin t-shirt.
Right.
I've tried it with the thinner ones, like, you know, the more softer, thinner t-shirts, and you do need some stability. So yes, I think a sweatshirt would be really actually cool too.
Amy loves refashioning, as you've met her, and I think I can see this coming down the pike.
Yeah,
Jan wants to know, what gave you the inspiration for this design?
I don't know. How you probably saw it on something, like, who knows, it could have been Angela's, you did it and I thought, no, and you just don't know, but it came from something.
It's so cool.
And maybe when you're on a website and you see a designer do something different with the neckline, and then you're like, oh, I want to try that, and you could probably even do it on the sleeve,
that would be really cute on the sleeve. That would be cute on like a jacket sleeve too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of detail and it's a lot of time for a t-shirt, but we have a lot of time to do nothing right now. So.
That is so true.
Why not?
Marianne said, does it change the size? I would answer that and just say no, because she's cutting it away and you're adding what you're cutting away. So it shouldn't.
It's kind of crazy. It didn't. I was thinking that, like, am I going to have to measure and be specific with, the size of the length of the pearl, the length of the tube or whatever. And it didn't. So I think if you just meticulously, when you're sewing the beading around and you need to adjust things, like, you'll kind of see when you're doing it and see if that's something you'll have to take into consideration. But I haven't noticed, no. There might be maybe in between one of them or two of them, like maybe on this pearl one, I noticed maybe a little bit more of a gap in between this one and the back one, for example,
right.
A little bit more of a fold, but it was like one area, you know what I mean? And I didn't notice it on the
And you have long hair. If it's in the back, nobody's going to notice anyways, right?
Yeah, that's what I do. I was like, who cares about the back? Throw the pony, throw the hair back there.
Sharon wants to know, did you use metal or plastic on your beading or your macrame?
So these are metal macrame tubes. So yeah, they're metal.
That's why they look so good.
I know. It's weird. I found these years ago and I can't find them. Like, they have the big ones, like the super wide ones. But because I went and looked today, I went to two other places to see if they had them, and I couldn't find them. So I guarantee you can find them online though. Just make sure they're thin.
Yeah. Somebody was asking about the number of beads. Now that's really going to determine what size you are. I mean,
yeah,
your size, you're going to use a lot less beads than I'm going to use. Because
this one, it also too, Angela. These are spread apart. These ones are more spread apart, right?
Yeah.
So they're really, if I'm counting, it was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Oh, that's not bad.
On this one. And that was I wanted it to be gappy, because otherwise it just looks like you have some pearl trim on your, your shirt.
How far apart about did you put those? Like an inch or 2 inches, would you say?
I would say 2 inches.
Okay.
But now these ones were more of an inch apart,
Okay. So that gives you guys, I saw somebody asking about that too. So that gives you an idea of what that looks like. So.
And I like a tutorial there's a full blog post on my blog with step-by-step that you can refer to. I think Angela posted, I sent it to you, Angela. I'm
going to post it right now in the comments. And so those of you who want to see the blog, I'm posting, it looks like Brother posted it, but it's me posting it as a brand ambassador. So yeah, I just posted the links, then go to your blog and see the whole thing.
Yeah, and then you can just follow that. And that's pretty step-by-step, and you'll see full details and everything.
I think I have, hold on one sec. I think I actually have it. Let me just share my screen real quick so you guys can see this. Make sure I have the right one. You never know what you're going to open up on here. All of a sudden, there goes all of my emails. So here is her blog. Oh, I love that jacket right there. Oh, so cute. Squirrel. Okay, this looks great. Where did you get that backdrop?
Oh, that was actually really cool. That was a house in Superior, Colorado, where we used to live. Nobody lived in it. It was like abandoned, but the guy, it was like one of the very first houses in Superior, Colorado, where we lived. So it was probably from the early 1900s. And the
Wow.
son, like one of the son's grandsons or whatever, inherited it, and he painted it like that.
That's really cool. So these are great photos. For those of you that, when we're doing live videos, sometimes you can't always see everything, or if you can't hear now, you can go to her blog and follow all of this. That's a great photo with all the pins too. And then you get a better idea of how, because somebody was asking about the ribbing, are you folding it all the way over? So she's folding it over the seam allowance up here, if you look closely, right there.
Yeah. So it was kind of still just a little fold. And if, a lot of T-shirts have that stitch right below the rib knit, or the rib neckline. So I just folded it over that. Which
the last thing we want to do is rip that out.
I know. Not worth it, okay?
This really looks great. I love it.
Thank you.
So there's the blog. I left it down there.
Yep.
Laura, this was so fun.
Oh, thank you. I wanted it to be something that I feel we all would like to wear. I could pull out my cut, flash, like tops and stuff, but I was like, I feel like we all would like this. You know what I mean? All kinds of stuff.
Classy, yet it could be toned down to go fishing in. That's what I love about it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Like this one, you could just wear with jean shorts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very cute. So now I got to go dig out my top so I can, I think I did mine was on the, I did a silk cut on the bias. Ooh. So I had to do a lot to the neckline to keep it stable. This is so much easier. I love this. I saw one more question pop in here. Everybody says thanks. And would you use a serger? You could use a cover stitch. I wouldn't use a serger. I'd use a cover stitch or what she did.
Yeah, honestly, for me, it's like if it's a garment for me, I'm not super concerned about the inside. And like Angela said, it's not, the knit shouldn't be fraying if it's,
Look what Sharon wrote, with baby bobbers around the neck, little bobbers for fishing. Oh my gosh, Sharon, if I do that, the guys will be like, what are you wearing?
That'd be funny.
Or fish hooks, yes. Oh, we got all the ideas now. Maureen, just look in your craft store, any of your local craft stores, look online.
They're called macrame tubes. Yeah. They're about an inch or 3/4 long, but they're super tiny. I would say less than a 1/4 inch wide.
Perfect.
Like I said, when I was at the craft store, they were big ones, like my finger. And I was like, I'm not, those would just, they like wiggle because it's like one little thing of thread.
Absolutely. Connie says use fish weights instead of pearls. That'd be good, Connie, but then I'd weigh more. That would not work. All right. Well, Laura, happy anniversary. Happy birthday. It's so fun to be back to working on our refashing. So I can't wait to see what we're doing. Are you working on any other ones right now that we need to follow you on? Well, we need to follow her Instagram's right up here. What can we expect out of your sewing room in the next few weeks?
I mean, I'm sewing slowly but surely, like things, because our kids, like, we're home with them all day long. Like, you don't realize, like, your time is just, it's so distracted. You're so distracted. I'm looking forward to school starting, but now we're doing, in our county, we're only doing digital.
That's what it seems like that's going to be a trend.
It's really, yeah, it's just like, so it makes it hard to like just get in that quality time. But my husband's usually pretty good about giving me that space so I can get to work. I'm sure you know what I mean. Yeah, but like when you go in your sewing room, it's like I want it quiet, or I have my music playing, but I want no distractions. You know what I mean?
I think Win can walk into my office and he knows. As soon as he opens the front door, if he should just turn around and go back, he'll come in, give me a kiss, and go see ya. If I've got the music blaring, my hair's all up, and I'm sweating, and I've got like projects everywhere. He's like, "Okay, bye."
100%. That's how it is in my house. But see, kids don't understand that, so they're like, so. And then I got 3, so now I got 4 people coming. You're like, oh my God, I can't take it.
I know. We always say cherish those times because they'll be gone so fast.
I mean, they're growing fast. So, but yes, I'm busy sewing, and we should do, I know we were talking about doing a macrame thing, so let's do that soon. And maybe we could add the sewing into it, where it's like maybe a macrame and then adding it into a sewing project.
Hey, I think that sounds like a great next project.
Yes.
What do you guys think? You want a macrame? Because we will put that on our list for August if you would like that. And if you have ideas for us that you want us to do for refashioning, leave us an idea. Because if we have a theme, both of us will do one project and we'll compare like we did in the last one.
Yes, I like that. Good idea.
All right. Well, Laura, your kids are quiet. I can't believe it. You better go check on them. Did you give them a good movie?
No. What is he doing? They're fine. The older two are older now. They can kind of do their own thing. So I'll go check on it.
Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, brother, for letting the brand ambassadors take over. And Lorraine says, yes, macrame would be fun. So I can't wait to see what you're working on. Follow us on Instagram. There's our websites down below. And we'll see you next week.
Yep. See you all soon. Have a good one.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day.